You know the scene, right? It's a blazing hot summer day, you're just minding your own business, and then, boom, a nosebleed. It's something that happens to so many of us, but have you ever really stopped to ask why? Well, today we're going to dig into the fascinating science behind this super common and kind of annoying phenomenon.
And seriously, think about it for a second. Why the nose? You can bump your hand, you can rub your ear, and nothing really happens. But your nose, especially on a hot day, seems to be on a hair trigger. What makes it so special? That's the exact question we're here to answer. Okay, first things first, let's get the official name out of the way. In the medical world, a nosebleed isn't just a nosebleed. It's called epistaxis. Sounds a bit fancy, I know, but the reason behind it is actually surprisingly logical, as you're about to see. Now, not all nosebleeds are created equal. If you walk into a door or something, that's called pathological epistaxis. It's from an injury. But the kind we're talking about today, the one that seems to just happen out of nowhere in the summer, that's physiological epistaxis. It's not because something is wrong, it's actually part of your body's normal, everyday function.
All right, let's dive in. To really get why your nose bleeds, you first have to appreciate what its main job is. And here's a spoiler, it's got way more to do than just smelling things. Your nose is, for all intents and purposes, a super sophisticated air conditioning unit for your body. Before any air gets to your delicate lungs, your nose cools it down, adjusts the humidity, and filters out all the gunk. It's an absolutely critical first line of defense. And think about it, running a high-tech AC unit 24/7 takes a ton of power. In your body, that power is delivered by blood. And that's exactly why the inside of your nose is packed with one of the richest, densest blood supplies in your entire body.
So how does all that blood even get there? Let's actually follow the journey. We're going to trace the path it takes right from your heart all the way up to that tiny, hardworking spot inside your nose.
Our journey starts in the heart's left ventricle, this super powerful pump that shoots oxygenated blood into the aorta, the body's main superhighway. From there, a major off-ramp, the common carotid artery, heads straight north up your neck, carrying all that precious cargo towards your head. And just like a highway splitting into two different routes, the carotid artery divides. You've got the internal carotid, which goes deeper into the skull, and the external carotid, which supplies the more superficial parts of your head. And the crazy part? Both of them are ultimately heading for the same destination, your nose. Okay, this first route is, well, it's pretty wild. The internal carotid takes this bizarre detour, sending a major branch right through your eye socket. It's called the ophthalmic artery. And from there, it sends little vessels down into your nose. So yeah, some of the blood in your nose literally came via your eye. At the same time, that second route from the external carotid is taking a different path. It travels up through your upper jawbone, the maxilla, and sends its own branches pushing upwards, delivering yet another stream of blood into that exact same area. And believe it or not, it doesn't stop there. There's a third route. Also from the external carotid, this one travels up through your face, supplies your lips, and then sends even more branches up to meet at that same tiny, hard-working patch of real estate inside your nose. So all of these different roads are all leading to one very specific, very important, and, as it turns out, very fragile place. We have arrived at the anatomical hotspot, the absolute ground zero for almost every common nosebleed you'll ever have. So let's ask the big question. Where is this incredible intersection, this grand central station for your face, where all these blood supplies coming from totally different directions all manage to meet up in one tiny spot? Well, that destination is a spot called Little's area. It's right on the front part of your nasal septum, that wall between your nostrils. And it's here that multiple arteries all weave together into this dense, delicate web of vessels called a plexus. This spot right here is the epicenter. I mean, just look at this. It's incredible. You've got arteries from the internal carotid route and arteries from the external carotid route, all 5 of these major vessels crammed into this tiny area. It creates this anatomical traffic jam, a zone that is absolutely loaded with blood, but is only protected by very, very thin and fragile vessel walls. Okay, so now we know where the bleeding comes from. Let's connect the final dots and figure out why it happens, especially in the summer, and maybe most importantly, what to do about it when it does. So we've got this incredibly dense and delicate network of blood vessels. It's just sitting there, working hard every single day. So what's the final straw? What's the thing that actually causes one of these tiny vessels to finally rupture?
Well, a few things can push this delicate area over the edge. Dry air can irritate the lining. High blood pressure puts extra strain on the walls. But the number one trigger, the big one for summer, is, you guessed it, the heat. And here it is. This is the final piece of the puzzle. When your body gets hot, your blood vessels expand to try and release that heat. It's a process called vasodilation. But in the already crowded, already fragile needles area, that expansion is just too much for the vessel walls. They stretch, they get thinner, and eventually, one of them just pops. So what do you do when it happens? It's actually really simple. Pinch the soft part of your nose, pinch it firmly, and lean forward. That old advice to lean your head back is a myth. You'll just end up swallowing the blood. A cold compress on the bridge of your nose can also help because the cold helps constrict those blood vessels. Just stay calm and it should stop in a couple of minutes. And one last really important piece of advice. Look, an occasional nosebleed in the summer is totally normal, but if you find they're happening really often, it's always a good idea to just get it checked out by a doctor, just to be safe. So there you have it. That simple summer nosebleed is actually the grand finale of this incredible story about anatomical superhighways all converging on one tiny, hard-working spot. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple little quirks of our bodies are hiding a story that's this complex and this fascinating? Thanks for tuning in.